This is a very special video blog which I hope you share with your entire network, because today I'm going to tell you about 4 books that I believe are potentially life-changing. At least they've had a profound impact on me. The first one is really the reason I did this video. Is I was flying back from San Diego. I've been working with a client, and I was reading this book on the airplane, and I couldn't put it down. I'm underlining, I did it on my iPad, but I'm underlining everything and reading it, and when I hit the ground, I'm like, wow, this was an amazing book. And it's called Reinvent Yourself by James Altucher. Tough name to say. This is interesting in 3 ways. First of all, James has lived an interesting life. He's grown some really big businesses, multi-million, I think billion-dollar businesses, and lost them, gone bankrupt. He's been divorced. He's been through all kinds of personal troubles and personal successes. And he shares a lot of that in this book. He's very straightforward and speaks with a lot of candor and vulnerability. Number 2 is he runs a podcast where he interviews successful people from all over the world. And I think it's fascinating that he will often jump on a plane and fly across the world to go interview someone in person and chat with them and talk to them. And he also does a massive amount of research before he interviews people, reads all their books, their biography, studies everything about them, because he wants to get there and ask questions that no one else has asked. I thought that was pretty cool. And also part of this book is research he's done on people that are, that you can't go meet, like Gandhi. And each chapter has the chapters are short and they have some little interesting story. What I learned from Richard Branson, what I learned from Gandhi, as I mentioned, what I learned from a drug dealer, one of the top drug dealers in the world, what I learned from playing poker every single day for a year. Just really cool things, but incredibly powerful ideas. Highly recommend this book. The next one I want to talk about is called A Strategy for Daily Living by Ari Kiev. And this is a book I read years ago, and I still come back to it over and over again. It's Dr. Kiev. He was a psychiatrist, and one of his patients came to him and said, we covered all this stuff. You're helping me a bunch, but I'm a little confused. Could you just write me a list that I can look at every day to help me live a more happy, balanced, and joyful life? This book is the list. It's very short format, small. It's only maybe 100 pages, very easy read, but a really good, solid look at exactly what it takes to keep your life in balance, keep yourself sane, and live a good, productive, happy life. Another really good book. The next one is 9 Things That Successful People Do Differently by Heidi Grant. This one is very research-based. This is from Harvard Business Press. And there's lots of quotes and stuff in there, but it's based mostly on a lot of research about what the most successful people do differently than the rest of us. And having worked with some of the most successful people in the world, several billionaires, people that have started major companies, contributed greatly to philanthropy, really made an impact on the world, and I've been very honored to meet some of them. Based on what I know about them, this book is spot on. And it's fun because it's got lots of good solid data and research to back up all the ideas. Last, but certainly not least, is The Art of Achievement from Tom Morris. And he's a good friend of mine, an absolute genius. I've been following Tom's work for years. One of the other big, most important books I ever read was one he wrote called True Success. But we'll go from the other end of the spectrum. We've got James, who's talking to contemporary people, doing some research on people through history, to Dr. Kiev, who's very straightforward as a psychiatrist, to Heidi, who's got all that research, to Tom, who is a philosopher. And in this book, he quotes people throughout history, but he also talks about the foundation of philosophy and how that impacts how to live successful today. So you've got Aristotle and Socrates and, the Stoics in there. And he, again, lays out a really good, clear path. 7 C's it takes to have a successful life and business. All 4 of those books are incredible. Now, I could add some more to the list, like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Obviously a great book, but these are 4 that most people probably haven't read yet. So 2 last things before I'm done. Number one is I've been nominated for probably the most prestigious Business Thinkers Award in the world. It's called the Thinkers 50, the top 50 business thinkers in the world. It happens every 2 years. I was nominated 2 years ago. I got on the radar, but I did not make the final 50. Been nominated again this year. If you feel I deserve it, there's a link below. Please click on that and go and vote for me. And it's right at the top. They call it a nomination. Basically, it's a vote right at the top. Global Thought Leader, your email address, my name, and then it says put some notes in there if you want to. You don't have to. And there's another category down below called Ideas into Practice. And if you think I do a good job of taking ideas and put into action, you could nominate me there. I don't know if you can nominate both. But if you don't have time or you don't think I deserve it, no problem. If you do have about 1 minute or 1 minute 80 or 40 seconds, there isn't such as 1 minute 80 seconds. That'd be 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Won't go into that. But if you want to, just click on it. I deeply appreciate that. Thank you very much. Then, to finish this off, please, in the comments section, let me know about any book you've read that's had a profound impact on your life, a self-help or a personal development book. I've read a bunch of them, hundreds, but I'm sure there's several I haven't read, and I would love to hear the top 1 or 2 or 3 that you really feel were life-changing for you. Another reason I'd love you to share this with your entire network so that if we get a good list going, we can really help people find some amazing books that may make a massive difference in their life. So thanks so much for listening. I hope you have a fantastic day.